Cool. All right. Everybody, welcome in to our info session this morning on our brand new program called At Home Abroad, something that we're super excited about. And but before we get into that, let me tell you a little bit more about ExplorerX. We'll get started there, and then we'll dive into At Home Abroad. Some of you know us. So good to see some familiar faces on here. Gianna, Rasmus, Kim, others. For those of you that might be new to who we are a Seattle-based travel company. Our mission, our philosophy, our ethos, why we do what we do is ultimately boiled down to this idea of travel better, live better. We believe that travel is, in our opinion, perhaps the most powerful opportunity to not only have incredible experiences and have a ton of fun, but also perhaps the most powerful way to learn about yourself, to shift perspectives of self and others in the world, to push your comfort zones and to really use all of those experiences that you have to create positive change in your life and in your community, big or small. And so we encourage and invite and all of our travelers to use all of their experiences to really live a better life, and again to make more impact in their communities. So you can learn more on our website, explorer-x.com. You can always email us, which is hello@explorer-x.com. We've got a lot of different travel types and ways to engage with us. We've got our custom journeys, which are handcrafted adventures designed by Robyn, myself, and some of our other colleagues. We have some scheduled departures that are small group journeys that are set for 2022. You can learn more about those on our website. We have one going out in September to the Camino. We have 9 people heading out and walking the last 100 kilometers of the French Way to the Camino in September. We've got adult study abroad programs, which are month-long scheduled departures with 8 to 10 other folks that you can learn from, travel with, and connect with while you're traveling in some of our handpicked destinations. And then we have our new program, which is At Home Abroad, which we're going to introduce to you right now. The pandemic has been, give me a second here. The pandemic has been interesting, and for a lot of ways as a business, we're trying to navigate our way through this and figure out what clients are looking for, what clients want, what direction the industry is headed. We've had a lot of time to talk, as you can imagine, within our team, within colleagues across the globe, and most importantly, with folks that have traveled with us or that are interested in traveling with us. And what's come up often and again is what we're calling the spirit of exploration. And this is sort of the genesis of this At Home Abroad experience. I'll quickly walk you through this. The first thing we keep hearing again and again, especially with people being stuck at home, locked down, all that with the pandemic, is they want to get out there and push their comfort zones. They want to challenge themselves. And ultimately what they've said again and again is they want the feeling of being alive once more. They're looking for deeply immersive experiences where they have a chance to connect with the local people, the local culture, share ideas, learn new ideas, share perspectives, understand different beliefs that are different than their own. So it's a real immersion that they're looking for. Also, what's come up a lot, and this is proven out in some of the requests that we've gotten in the bookings that we've done over the past 3 to 4 months, people are taking a lot more time to travel now. Where in the past, a normal booking would be 8 to 10 days. Now we're seeing an average booking of 2 weeks or more. So people are really taking time to slow down. They don't want to rush through their experiences. They want to spend more time in fewer places and really get a sense of the local culture there, without just running from place to place to place. There's been a huge emphasis on mindful travel as well, which is important for us. This is what we do as a brand. This is how we position ourselves, right? Is that our travelers, our ExplorerX is really all about being curious. It's all about challenging yourself. And it's all about going out there and using these experiences to learn and grow as a human and as a global citizen. A lot of folks have been mentioning that specifically. And the one thing that's come up, maybe more than others, is people saying, I don't know what's next. I've been through this pandemic. I'm in a transitional phase, a liminal phase in my life, in my career, my relationships, and whatever. And I'm trying to figure out what's next for me, and I'm not sure what it is. I had a guy the other day say, I'm trying to find a reason to get out of bed in the morning. So a lot of folks looking for this more purposeful travel experience and trying to figure out what is next for them. And so with all of this in mind, looking for the feeling of being alive, connecting with people, slowing down, and really leaning into curiosity and the desire for learning and growth, we launched At Home Abroad this summer. A quick introduction and overview of this. And by the way, if you have any questions along the way, just let me know. There'll be time for questions at the end as well, so no problems there. What is At Home Abroad, or as we call them, AHAs? They are customized travel experiences. So we're going to show you some of the destinations that we know and love, and that we've already started to design some At Home Abroad experiences in, but you can pretty much go anywhere with an At Home Abroad experience. They are all customized to you, what you want to do, what you don't want to do, where you want to stay, what you don't want, where you don't want to stay, et cetera, et cetera. They are 1 to 3 month stays using a home base. So again, as Robyn and I will explain in a few minutes, for example, in Portugal, Porto might be your home base for a month or 3, but you'll use that to branch out and see and explore other parts of the country as well. Robyn, I'm having PowerPoint issues here. They are hand-picked accommodations. So you will have an apartment, a villa, a house, some place to live and work while you're there. It'll come with a full kitchen, washer, dryer, all of the things that you need to spend a month or more in this destination. And again, some folks might want to just work from there. Others may not. Robyn will tell you a little bit more about who are the kinds of folks that we've been engaging with for the At Home Abroad experiences in a little bit. But all of your accommodations will have a kitchen and a live and workspace. There's also, this is a really important part, there's a local host and concierge. So in addition to having access to our team, Robyn, myself, Curran, Haley, and others, there's someone on the ground in the destination that you can talk to who will help arrange certain activities, reservations, experiences, or just, hey, I'm looking for some information about the destination. They're there to be your support system and answer questions for you while you're on the ground. When you get there, when you arrive, in addition to transfers from the airport to your accommodations, we're going to start with a welcome walking tour and also have an introductory culture and language class if it's a destination whose language is not English. All that's baked into the experience. Along the way, again, we're looking at a month, so usually 1 to 2 immersive experiences per week. Some of them could be cultural in focus, could be adventure, could be culinary, could be really whatever you want. I mean, and again, it's customized for your interests. So we'll give you a long list of experiences to pick from. We'll talk to you about what you're looking for and what you like to do, and then make some recommendations as well on our own for your time there. And it does include a long weekend away. So you either 2 or 3 nights away in one of the places that we love in that country, near that home base city, to go and explore for a long weekend away. And as you can imagine, with only a handful of experiences planned for you, they'll have loads of free time to go and explore on your own, really giving you a chance to live like a local. Honestly, like it's the whole point of this is kind of get there and settle down, slow down, soak yourself into the local culture, the local scene, the local community, and really just have time to explore and wander and learn while you're there. And again, just logistically, we'll provide local public transportation passes and again, airport transfers as needed. And throughout, from the time that you sign up till well after you get back, you're going to have continued guidance and support from our team, not only about logistics and where you're going, where you're staying, and what you're doing there, but really, as I mentioned at the beginning, we really firmly believe in this idea of travel better, live better. And we're here to support you. What makes ExplorerX, I think, different than most other travel companies, all other travel companies, is that we really look at this as a 3-part process of learning, growth, and exploration. It mirrors, and you'll hear me talk about this, and we can talk later if anybody is interested, about the hero's journey and Joseph Campbell's work, right? We really look at the departure and the preparation for the journey as a really, really critical part of the overall travel experience. So we're going to give you all kinds of tools, resource, access to people, mentors, coaches, experts in different fields, consultants, if you want to engage with them to really help prepare for the journey ahead. Obviously, there's the journey itself. And then, of course, once you get back, we hear time and time again people that are ready to make changes, big or small, in their lives. And we've got folks that are here to support and guide that process as well. So all of this stuff that you're seeing here on this slide is included in the pricing that Robyn will talk about later on. There's also some things that we can add on as well. There's some optional experiences. So again, you're getting 4 to 5 built-in experiences and a weekend while you're on your at-home abroad, but there's a load of other experiences to be had while you're there. So if you're interested in learning more about those, for every destination, again, we'll customize something for you that gets you really immersed as deeply as you want in the kinds of areas and things that you're interested in doing. We have access to local health and wellness experts. So if you are looking for a gym, a yoga studio, a meditation teacher, or even a local wellness practice that you want to learn about and engage with while you're there, going to a hammam while you're in Morocco, for example, right? And other things. We have access to all of those that we can plan for you as well. As I mentioned, we have a team of coaches and consultants and experts ranging from, do I have this on here, Robyn? Yeah, we have life, career, and relationship coaches. We also have meditation teachers, breathwork professionals, fitness experts, nutrition consultants, sleep consultants. I mean, you name it. We've got these folks that we've identified and have built really powerful working relationships with that could support you in whatever area of growth you're looking for before, during, or even after your trip. And finally, we have options for families. Families that want to go to do this and bring children access to schools, tutors, nannies, strollers, car seats, that kind of whatever things that families need, we have thought through it and have access to and can provide that for our travelers as well.
Cool. All right. Well, I'm going to jump in here. I'm Robyn. I'm a travel designer here at ExplorerX. And I'm going to just kick off a few slides here showcasing the places you can go and do this sort of experience. And I will say that you can really go anywhere. This is all customized to you, but we are just going to highlight a few locations that we are particularly excited about and have really wonderful partners that can do some really unique things. But be sure to chat with us if you have something else in mind as well. So first up, we have Athens. This is a great location to base yourself and explore the whole country really easily, from the islands to the mountains and everything in between. Athens is it's a modern, vibrant city that's built around a very historic Acropolis, which is just a really unique contrast. So you can be learning about ancient mythology one moment and then be going to a lively music festival the next. And on the weekends, you can take any number of really inexpensive flights or ferries out to the iconic islands like Naxos or Santorini, or take advantage of this little known fact that 80% of Greece is actually mountainous. So people who love to hike will be in heaven here.
Awesome, Robyn. Split in Croatia is another destination that we're really, really excited about. Located on the west coast of Croatia, sort of in the center, it is perfectly situated to really help you explore all parts of Croatia. I mean, Croatia is a destination that maybe like Greece, Robyn, right? There's tons of opportunities for exploring island life and coastal communities and things like that, but there's also got this beautiful interior that is mountainous, and there's even an area in the north, Istria, that is considered to be the Tuscany of Croatia, with lots of rolling hills and famous for its wine, its vineyards, its food production, culinary experiences, and these beautiful little hotels and properties that are there. So, and Split, in comparison to Dubrovnik, Split is more of the local vibe, the real Croatia, the authentic Croatia, where Dubrovnik is more of the modern city with a great old town, but sort of the glitz and glam, where Split is more of the real authentic sort of feel like you're part of the Croatian life. And again, it's more centrally located. So we love Split as a great home base for exploring the entire country of Croatia.
Cool. So yeah, now we have Ljubljana, Slovenia. So Slovenia in general is just absolutely breathtakingly beautiful with these like turquoise waters and jagged peaks. It's a absolute feast for those who love the outdoors. And Ljubljana is a fantastic place to base yourself. So this is the capital of the country, but it's small for a capital. There's only about 270,000 people who live here, and they really hold true to the Slovenian eco-friendly values. There are chunks of the city that are closed off to cars entirely and only allow for bikes and pedestrians. And this is a place where people really live in harmony with the land, even in the capital. People have these like beautiful like, garden grown salads for lunch, and they trade with their neighbors. Like somebody has honey and somebody has meat. And there's lots of festivals and events that go on here, but it's also really easy to hop on a mountain bike or put on your hiking shoes and just go straight from the city.
All right, thanks, Robyn. Next up, Marrakesh, Morocco. So getting out of Europe a little bit into Northern Africa, expanding our horizons a little bit. Marrakesh is, a city that really, the vibrance, the energy, it is sensory overload when you get there. It was one of the more powerful travel experiences that I had. You talk about cultural dissonance and differences and the way that they do things versus the way that we may do things here in the States. It is a really powerful experience. I found the people there to be really welcoming and warm and inviting and so excited about their country and so excited about their culture and their food and wanting to share all of it. But the experience goes well beyond Marrakesh, right? There's so many different beautiful parts of Morocco to explore while you're there, from Essaouira, the beautiful coastal city with windsurfing and sort of the Sufism and the artsy, craftsy sort of bohemian vibe in Essaouira, which is just 2.5 hours away from Marrakesh, to the Atlas Mountains, doing some climbing, doing some adventuring, spending time up there, but really connecting with the local Berber culture up there, which is a really powerful experience. Heading to the Sahara, obviously, right? There's opportunities to spend time in the desert. And then you can head up north, Chefchaouen and Fez and some of the other incredible cities up north that are more focused on artists and culture and really the cultural capitals in some ways, Fez specifically of Morocco. So Marrakesh is a wonderful, beautiful, vibrant, energizing, inspiring city. And it's a great, great, great spot to use as a home base to explore the other parts of one of my favorite destinations in the world, which is Morocco.
Yeah, and Cape Town. So South Africa is a really incredible place for those who are interested in culture and history, wildlife, food. Like it really has it all here, especially from the base camp of Cape Town. You can hang out with a penguin colony after work, or jet up to the winelands for a tasting one afternoon, or you can go for a safari on a long weekend. Or grab a flight up to Victoria Falls. So the options are just really endless here. So this is another one of our favorites.
And then we'll wrap up with Portugal. Porto, my last trip prior to the pandemic was to Portugal. And so I admit that there's a bit of a recency bias, if you will, even though it's been almost 2 years since I've been there. But my most recent trip, a destination that I had high expectations for, and yet at the same time was blown away. Much like Morocco in terms of the people and the food and the culture, the history there, it is astounding. I mean, it is a beautiful small city, like Ljubljana, as Robyn mentioned, sort of a smaller city, a great place as a home base, not as busy, not as compact as Lisbon, which is why we picked Porto instead of Lisbon in Portugal. But a great place to wander around the cobblestone streets, a great place to have some incredible food, a great place to head down to the water, grab a port, right? The home of port wines. And so there's some incredible experiences there. And the history of the city is tremendous. And another reason, again, as a home base, why we love Porto is that it's so close to so many other parts of this incredible country. You head inland a little bit, just 2 hours or less, you've got the Douro Valley, so famous for its wines and hiking and mountain biking and food experiences and beautiful little properties and farmhouses and things like that. A few hours south, you've got this beautiful central coast with some of the most amazing little fishing villages and towns along the way to stop at and spend a nice weekend in. You know, Lisbon is only a 4-hour drive south of Porto. And then a few hours inland from Lisbon and about 3.5 hours or so from Porto driving is Alentejo, which is more of a cultural or a culinary and farm region. A lot of cork production there, but incredible food, again, incredible wines, a lot of olive oil production. So, you know, when I think of Portugal, I sort of think of it a little bit of a square. You've got Porto and Lisbon on the coast, north Porto, Lisbon south, and inland you've got Alentejo south and Douro north, and hitting all four of those. And there's more. I mean, you've got the south, you've got the Algarve, and you've got the beaches in the south. So there's so much to do in Portugal, but Porto is, in our opinion, the perfect place to use as a home base to explore this wonderful country. And Robyn, before we move on, just another note. Again, all of these experiences are customized, so we can go to other places and use a different home base in these countries. These are the places that we've picked out, but there's a lot of other options for you, and there's a lot of other destinations that you can travel to as well. So if you have a particular interest in spending, you know, a month in Vietnam, you know, when things permit, we can do that, right? There's other destinations. Peru. Robyn, what are the other destinations that we're sort of actively developing now?
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at Cusco, Peru. We're looking at Iceland. Yeah, we have stuff all over the map that we're developing.
Yeah. And again, that's just a starting point. So again, if there is a destination that you are really, really excited about, Tuscany is another one. That if you want to spend some time there or anywhere else, we can certainly customize something for you.
Yeah, so who is this for? So in general, I'll say that this is really for anyone and everyone, as long as you have a sense of adventure and the ability to live and or work remotely for at least a month in another time zone. And Michael, you can
I'm trying
head
to
on some of these points. So, so we're also seeing interest in this program. So from those who have transitioned to freelance or remote working lifestyle, especially recently due to COVID. But we're also seeing interest from folks who are retired or have sabbaticals through work and are just looking to spend some time living in another place. So how this works. So it all starts with a call. We'll get on the phone to chat about what you're looking for and determine if this is a good fit for you. And then to move forward, we get you to fill out some forms, and those will essentially give us a roadmap for our design process. And then we just collaborate some more. We're talking with you every step of the way to ultimately craft.
Sorry, Robyn, I'm trying.
No, it's fine. I'll just keep talking.
I swear it's not operator error, it's technological difficulties on my end. There we go.
We talk you through, it's a very collaborative travel design process. There you go. Yeah, so we talk you through every step of the way to ultimately craft and operate the trip of your dreams. And we also get you prepared to go and support you, you know, with packing lists and country guides and all sorts of stuff to get you out there. And then during your trip, we're there to support you and after you get back as well. Pricing, yeah, so I bet you're all wondering, how much does something like this cost? So pricing is tricky because it can vary so much with customized trips like this. So it really depends on the destination, the number of travelers, the time of year, the level of accommodations, any additional services or things that can be added on. But very generally speaking, to give you a ballpark idea, grand total pricing for 1 month will start roughly around $6,500 for a solo traveler, and for a couple it'll be more like $7,500. But again, the best thing to do is to get on a call with us to discuss exactly what you have in mind, and then we can tailor something that lines up with your budget. And Michael, I'll pass it over to you.
Cool. Yeah, so that's about it for our, quote, presentation. We hope that we can engage with you and answer any questions that you might have. We'll do our best to answer those questions. Have a conversation about this wonderful new program. But leave you with this quote, Anthony Bourdain: "Travel is about the gorgeous feeling of teetering in the unknown." And so just going back to this idea of the spirit of exploration, I think what this program is about, what At Home Abroad is about, is that sense of adventure. It's about looking for that feeling of being alive. It's about taking the time to slow down, disconnect from the things at home that may be adding stress to your life, find time to breathe, find time to connect with self, possibly to connect with your travel companions and loved ones. If you need to work, no problem. There's plenty of time and space to do that. But really, this is just about reconnection with self and others, connecting with new perspectives and beliefs and ideas, and then using all of that to, as somebody said, writing the next chapter in your life, figuring out what's next for you, and creating changes, big or small, in your life. And without going down too much of a tangent here, I think it's important to note that some folks that come to us and they say, "Look, I love the work that you're doing. I'm not looking to move to Nepal, shave my head, become a Buddhist monk, and start a nonprofit," right? No offense, Derek, about the whole, Nepal thing, but I'm looking to create some small change that's going to have a powerful impact on my life. And we've had people come back and say, "You know what? Like, I never journaled before, but just the practice of starting to journal was a really, really cathartic one for me. And now it's a key part of my morning ritual. And it gives me this sense of grounding and empowerment and all that I've been looking for," right? So something as simple as starting a journaling practice or a meditation practice, right? Or connecting with a culinary experience and then beginning to cook more and using that to bring the sense of vibrance and aliveness to your life at home. So some people do and will make large changes. Most will make small changes that have a really, really powerful and positive impact on their lives. So, and that's ultimately what this is all about. So with that, we can open up to questions, and I'll stop sharing here so we can all have a conversation. Cool.
So this is Bonnie, just to clarify on the all-in cost for a month, what was that inclusive of?
We'll send you the PowerPoint, we'll send you the document, but it's accommodations, airport transfers, transportation passes, a welcome tour with a dinner with your host, access to your host, 4 to 5 experiences throughout, and a long weekend away.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
What else did I miss, Robyn? Language class, introductory
language class, and you'll have some like local food stocked in your fridge when you get there, and little things like that too.
Yeah. And then again, Bonnie, all those other things we can add on if there's additional experiences or accommodation upgrades. This typically includes a 1-bedroom apartment for a solo traveler or a couple, but if there's a family or you want a bigger space or a nicer space, we can certainly do that as well. But that cost, that includes that.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah.
This is Elizabeth.
Hey, Elizabeth.
Hey, could you comment a little bit, especially on Slovenia and Croatia? What kind of public transportation is there? Do we need to rent a car for a month, or what's that looking like?
Yeah. When you're in the cities, I mean, Split and Ljubljana, are pretty walkable, and there's really good public transportation to get around if you need it. So you will not need a car while you're in the city. But when you're looking to get out of the city, if you're heading out to the islands, if you're heading to Brač or Hvar or something like that in Croatia, there's ferries. It's easy enough to get to. But if you're heading further north to Istria or further south to Dubrovnik, we could rent a car for you. It's similar in Slovenia, right? Robyn, if you want to head to the mountains, a car is probably your best bet.
Yeah, I would say like you don't need a car for the entirety of your time, but maybe for a weekend here and there it might be nice, but you don't need it for most of the time.
And
we can help arrange as well.
Oh, okay. while I'm still asking questions, one more.
Sure.
Have you fashioned any of these to include like some sort of service or volunteerism or?
Not specifically, but again, they're all customized. So really what we're trying to do is create the skeleton and the infrastructure for you, and then really let you work with Robyn, myself, Curran, and Haley to sort of fill in the gaps on what's most important to you in terms of experiences. So we could absolutely do it. This is just meant to say, here's the foundation, and then you can make it yours from there.
Great, thanks a lot.
Yeah, of course. I should also mention that the Faroe Islands, sorry, Rasmus, is another destination that we're currently exploring. Our colleague and partner Rasmus is here, and we've been working with him on developing an at-home abroad in the Faroe Islands as well. So that's sort of currently in development. So another spot that I think would be tremendous for an at-home abroad experience. Certainly way more remote. Tórshavn has what, Rasmus, 20,000 people or so?
Tórshavn is known to be one of the world's smallest capitals with 20,000 people. Yes. So yes, I think the concept will work really, really great in the Faroe Islands. It will be something very different, something completely unique. First of all, the Faroe Islands is just a very unknown travel destination to many. But besides that, being a small nation, only 50,000 people, we still have such a rich history and culture, and we also have our own Nordic language only spoken here by our few population. So it truly is something unique, I can say. However, we were talking about transportation and so on. I think perhaps since the infrastructure is a bit limited, perhaps in the Faroe Islands to other places, a rental car will almost be a requirement, I would say, in the Faroe Islands, especially if you need to do some grocery shopping and so on, because not all villages, if you're going to stay more closer to the nature, and so not all villages have their own stores. So it'll be quite a hike to do grocery shopping.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Amazingly well done infrastructure there, including underwater tunnels right from island to island. Is that right, Rasmus?
We are huge fans of building subsea tunnels, what we call them, and we just actually finished our largest one in December, which is what I believe the world's first subsea tunnel with a roundabout in the middle of it, which is around 200 meters under the ocean.
Wow.
Crazy stuff. Yeah.
And for those of you that may not know where the Faroe Islands are, they are north of Scotland. How far north of Scotland? A couple hundred kilometers.
Yeah, it's about an hour flight from Iceland, an hour flight as well from Scotland and Norway. 2 hours from Copenhagen. 2 hours from Copenhagen, yes. And there will be direct fly routes, hopefully now in the near future. It all was scheduled before the COVID-19 hit us, but so hopefully it's going to happen soon, where there will be direct fly routes from New York City, I believe. And I think that there's a direct flight on to only 5 hours, something like that. Sure.
And if you don't know much or would like to learn more about the Faroe Islands, Google it and be prepared to be blown away by the beauty of the nature there and some of the scenery. It's tremendous. And there are more sheep than people. Is that correct, Rasmus?
Yeah. Yes, there is. We actually have an entire island only dedicated for sheep. The only probably about sheep. 70,000 sheep, I believe we have, and 50,000 people. So yeah.
Yeah. It's the number ahead of my head. Yeah. So cool. Thank you, dude. Appreciate it. Any other questions for now?
Hey, Michael, it's Gianna. Hey, everybody. I just have a quick question. As you know, I have a family of 5 with 3 kids, all sort of with an adventurous spirit. So I'm just wondering if you can talk just briefly about what this might look like for a family with kids. And specifically, I'm wondering about experience with the school, since it may just be a short-term 1-month situation. Would kids be able to join a school for such a short period of time? As well, second part of the question is language classes. for kids so that they can sort of feel a bit more independent in a place that might have a language other than English as their first or primary language there?
Sure. So a little bit tough to say, because as you can imagine, every destination is different. Some will
Sure.
have access to really great schools that will welcome, the kids for a month or so. Others maybe not so much. So, and obviously you need to figure out what's going on with your kids' school at home and how that works. But generally, I would just say it's something that we're very mindful of, and again, it's sort of destination specific in terms of the educational component of it. But again, like, we've had conversations with all of our partners about at least looking into opportunities for education for the kids while they're there. I can't really say too much more than that, because we haven't gotten that far down that particular path, but it's something that we're aware of and something that we're working on. Which doesn't really answer your question, but that's
That's okay.
right now. In terms of language stuff, yeah, I mean, actually, that's such an important part of integrating and immersing in the culture. So, while we have an introductory language class that's included, there will be absolutely opportunities for adults and kids alike to engage in language classes if you want to make sure that you're doing your best to integrate into that. That would be an additional cost, part of the optional experiences, but certainly 100% available in every destination that's non-English speaking, for sure.
Great. Okay, so helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Hey, Michael, anything in
Yes, sir.
Southeast Asia that you recommend as a home base, especially particularly around Cambodia, Vietnam?
Yeah, I mean, it's a destination, well, I say a region that we've explored a bit. Obviously, with what's going on with the pandemic now, it's not something that we've put a ton of research and time and energy into, because it's just not really a viable option right now.
No.
But I would say that Vietnam is the one that we've had the most conversations about. And I don't know if my guess is it would be more of one of the central coastal cities, Hoi An or something like that, not necessarily Hanoi or something like that, but something more centrally local. But it would probably be Vietnam for now. But again, like, when the time comes and travel there is more accessible and ready to go, we can pretty much, we've got incredible teams over there, so we can plan something just about anywhere. But Vietnam is where the way we presented these 6 destinations as sort of like samples, if you will. Vietnam would be the one that we would present as sort of as the starter for Southeast Asia. Chiang Mai, which is, another one potentially up in Thailand. So, but thanks, Derek. All right, guys, if there's any other questions, you can always shoot us an email. Again, hello@explorer-x.com is our email address. Our phone number is on the website. You can always give us a shout. Again, the website is, thank you, Curran. The website is explorer-x.com. You can learn more about At Home Abroad there. So it's explorer-x.com/at-home-abroad. And there's a link in the navigation so you can find it. All of the information that we shared today is on there. But again, any questions, let us know. And we'll be sure to send out a copy of the PowerPoint to everyone as well after this via email. So Rasmus, Gianna, Derek, Bonnie, Kim, Chris, Jason, and Vince, thank you guys for being here live. We appreciate it. For all those that are watching this afterwards, again, please feel free to reach out to us with any questions you've got. And Robyn, thanks for all of your expertise and awesomeness.
You're so welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks, you guys.
All right, everyone, have a great day. Thanks for being here.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
You too. All right. Bye-bye.